let's get right into it. Please welcome to the stage Natalie Montbion from Hour One and Joe Lemire.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, thank you all. Good to see another good turnout this morning, or at least within the lights there. I assume there are people out there. Let's get right into it. Hour One, this is a fascinating new concept. What is it? And give us your spiel.
Okay, so Hour One is a text-to-video platform powered by AI and virtual presenters. If you stop there for a second.
Okay, yeah. Okay, let that process in, and I'm sure everyone's going to have some questions on this, and we have the ability to take those in a moment. So what is powering that text-to-video? What's underlying it?
Yeah, so basically we've built an artificial intelligence-driven platform where we take real people and we essentially digitize them with their consent, and they become essentially our virtual talent. And they can be animated just from text. So they are photoreal, they are kind of talking heads, they have, we're gonna see some examples, by the way, shortly. They've got, hand motion, they're really talking to the camera. And in the context of media, which is obviously, and sports, the role that they can kind of play is basically as a presenter, presenting content which ordinarily was text. So we know that video and premium video is very valuable to both consumers and fans who just crave more sports content and media content in general according to their passions. And so we make it really easy for media companies to basically transform text into this higher value content, which is more valued to both fans, but also to media companies. For the media companies in the room, I don't need to tell you that obviously premium video can be sold at a premium. And this is a really easy turnkey way to automatically turn text into this kind of high quality video.
All right, I think this will be a good time to play an example so everyone can see it.
Yeah, and I'll just give you a little bit of context on that. So we work in a number of different fields, and within media, we've done some stuff in sports, and what we're going to see is actually an example of some content that ran around the World Cup in Germany, where the sports broadcaster RAN wanted to create more video content around scores and create fan engagement around the World Cup. So we're just going to play an example that will hopefully add some color to what we're saying.
Hallo und herzlich willkommen zum RAN WM-Spezial. Wir porträtieren für euch alle Bundesligaspieler, die bei der WM in Katar dabei sind. Carlos Grueso wurde am 19.04.1995 in Santo Domingo de los Colorados geboren und spielt beim FC Augsburg. Er spielte von 2008 bis 2010 bei LDO Quito, von 2010 bis 2012 bei José Terán, von 2012.
Yeah, my German's a little rusty, but I got the gist of it.
You get the gist.
And I assume with a technology like this, it wouldn't be hard to make me multilingual, right?
That's exactly right. So that virtual presenter, just to give you a little context, so she's a real person in real life. And she decided as a side gig that she would try out, being a virtual human on our platform, and basically offer up her likeness essentially to be hired and used commercially by Hour One's clients. And so she's based on a real person. She definitely does not speak German in real life. But now as a virtual person, she can speak German, which also opens a whole other host of opportunities, which I think we can touch on a bit later. But something else that I wanted to say about that is that, so we specialize in the kind of the virtual human technology side of things, but everything that you saw there was generated in our platform as well. So we generate the whole kind of 3D stage opportunity and the studio in this case. And we worked with with the client to basically craft what the opening credits and closing credits should look like, how they wanted all the scenes to look. And then once all of that is kind of confirmed and aligned, as a customer, you have access to our platform and you can essentially assemble videos from scratch with your assets, which are readily available in the platform. And depending on how complex the video is, how many, you can see that there was video content, other imagery dropped into the overall video. That's something that you can do. So you can bring in all of your kind of visual assets, and then you basically hit a button and you just wait for it to generate, which can take a number of minutes or a little longer, depending on how heavy the files are. But yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll have to ask my boss if I'm allowed to do it. But if I were to be this, how would I get captured?
Okay, so the process is we would basically arrange a green screen shoot. And our team, usually from Tel Aviv, our production team will zoom in and direct the shoot. And what we're looking to do is capture your kind of facial expressions and your gestures as you're talking to the camera. And then with your permission, you sign an agreement with us, which allows us to take that footage and that data to create your digital likeness. And then that digital likeness is available to you and or your colleagues or the team that actually will generate the content for you, and so they have access to your character, and then that's it. So then you input the text, and you pick a voice from the platform usually. So you're selecting, a voice in German if you want, or any language, or any accent. And so yeah, that's how a video is assembled.
Wonderful. And certainly you say type in the text, but we also are in this age of generative AI, and ChatGPT is a new partner. So what are some of the other opportunities there? Yeah,
so what we're constantly trying to do as a business is to make it extremely easy for anybody with no creative skills, coding skills, production skills, to make production grade video. And so we're always looking for new ways to remove friction from that process. And so as I've described, we've removed a lot of friction from the process already by automating kind of the creation of having a presenter in a video environment. But recently we actually added a GPT-3 enabled tool called Script Wizard. And that takes away a friction point that we knew still existed, which is the fact that you as the user has to come with the text. And sometimes, in some scenarios, you've already got the text. Like if you've got, all of your Sport Techie articles, you can just kind of, reformat that, and the tool can help you with that too, to make it into a script versus something that you read, which is obviously a different experience. But a lot of customers come without the text, and they're sort of like, oh, I really want to use this, but I don't have that initial content. And they have that kind of blank page syndrome. So what we've enabled is automatic script writing. So you can basically just say, I want to write a script about, I don't know, that match that just happened yesterday. Let's keep it vague. And you just put in some details, and you basically say the tone that you want the script to be in, and then it will automatically generate something for you to review and edit. So it's sort of working with you, and if anyone here, I'm sure like most people here, have given ChatGPT a go, you know what the value is there. So we're basically harnessing that value for script writing. So we've taken the technology and we have harnessed the elements that are going to make it extremely useful for script writing for video. So you might have a text, you have a little bit of a script and you're like, I want to make it funnier, I want to make it more youthful, I want to make it more professional, I want to make it longer, shorter. So there are all these little prompts within the platform that enable that. And actually, we can see a little video that explains it a bit better.
Want to create a killer video script but don't know where to start? Introducing Script Wizard, powered by GPT-3 technology. With Script Wizard, you can turn your ideas into stunning presenter-led videos in minutes. Script Wizard analyzes and improves your texts or creates new ones from scratch.
Script Wizard is a handy tool that makes script creation a breeze.
It's like having a team of Oscar-winning writers at your fingertips. Whether you're a pro or just starting out, Script Wizard is the ultimate writing assistant. Don't wait. Create your videos now.
Wow, the world that we live in. So clearly there's a lot of use for, say I'm an analyst and I'm trying to break down and dissect the game, or frankly just share the big news of the day. Sports also has rife with these big outlandish personalities and big emotion. Where do you see, how much emotion is involved in this? What lane are you trying to play in? How do you differentiate?
Yeah, so we think that live in-person connections are always the most important. Like today, being able to be together synchronously live and be able to have conversations after this and all of that is just the kind of the best way to communicate. But that's not always feasible or convenient or available to us. And so what we're striving to do is to basically be able to kind of take elements of that, like the ability to communicate and to basically automate what we can to create more content that people can digest asynchronously in their own time. So what I mean to say is we're never looking to replace even like the live televised broadcast experience. I think there's, we know actually with all this digitization that's happened over the last decade or so, that a lot more content is being consumed asynchronously on demand. But in a way, it's actually created more of a premium on the live in-person experience. And so we're not looking to touch that. We think that that is, absolutely golden. But what we're looking to do is to create more content around these events and to kind of extend the ability to create more immersive content that complements these actually, in-person real fan engagements.
Yeah, and each reporter or talking head sort of has their own IP. How can they maybe use this to expand upon that?
Yeah, so you might be, a reporter or a host or, a sports star yourself, and you're looking to expand the IP and that you've already created, right? So but you can't really scale yourself. You can't be in more than one place at once. But what you can do in the same way that you think about like merchandise and other ways that you might monetize your IP is that you can create a virtual twin. So as we sort of touched on at the beginning, how these virtual people exist in the first place, they're all based on real people. Well, that real person can be, a stock virtual character like we saw in the Ron example, or it could be a person of note with IP. And now you can create a virtual twin, and you can program that virtual twin to engage with fans or to be in commercials or to populate your Instagram stories and your TikToks. So never pretending to be the real deal, and would never have your virtual twin would never have the premium that the real you has, but you can start to expand your presence. And so basically there's a thing around automation and scale, right, of your presence, but then there's also the augmentation piece. So while there's nothing that can ever compete with the real you might not be able to speak German or Mandarin or any other language that you can possibly imagine that might be useful to you, the broader sense of you, for fan engagement in different parts of the world, let's say. Or even, just in the US, like if you're not a Spanish speaker, but half of your fans are, this is an opportunity to be able to engage with them in their language. So we're going to play an example, our final example. This is actually a guy who's a futurist in real life, and he spends a lot of time on stages, at conferences, and he does this for a living. But again, he can't scale himself, literally. So he's created a virtual twin, and this virtual twin has actually been hired as the AI correspondent for a news broadcaster. And here's just a little video about him and his process and using some of our generative AI tools to help him in his process of video creation.
Oh, crap. I need to get that done ASAP.
Hey, Ian, don't sweat it. I've got some ideas for you.
Look, what do you got?
My boys Ahmad, Sam, and Oren pimped me out with some pretty sweet new tech. Join me on set, and I'll show you the new stuff. There's lots of cool new stuff to check out. Our one added features from GPT-3 and Stability AI, so you can produce copy and imagery faster than ever. This should really help with your segments of Defiance Media. With the new features provided by Stability AI and GPT-3, I can generate modifications to your text, like extending or shortening it, rephrasing it entirely, and even changing the personality and tone of the text. I can also generate imagery from a prompt. Everything you need is in a single interface.
Okay, let's see what you got.
Robot lawyers went viral in the news this week, but they won't be making it into a courtroom anytime soon.
All right, I am finished.
Great, I'm happy to help. However, can't you help me find more interesting AI friends? I'd rather hang out with an AI athlete or something. robo-lawyers aren't really my style.
All right, I'll see you later.
See you later. And now, time for my next trick. Even AIs need a break from work.
So my brother wakes up at 3 every morning to host a TV show at 5. Can this help him get more sleep?
For sure. Or he can get started at 2. Create even more content.
Amazing. We are unfortunately out of time. I know you'll be around to answer some questions from everyone in the audience as well. So round of applause for Natalie.
Thank you.